All right, let's get this over with. I'm Craig. That's Logan. Follow us on all of the social media pages on the screen below, on the screen in front of you, or in the description below.
Oh.
Illinois loses 76-67 to Maryland in Champaign. Illinois is now 3-10 against Maryland since Maryland joined the Big Ten, the bane of our existence. Marcus Domask, 26 points. Luke Goode, 13 points. No one else in double figures. Maryland led by Jameer Young with 28 and Julian Reese with 20. No one else in double figures for them. Reese had 11 boards, so double-double for him. Illinois' rebounding was pretty spread out. Coleman had 7. Ty and Luke had 6. Dane had 4. Domask had 4. But the story, Illinois shot 32% from the field for the game, 22.5%, 32.8% for the game, 22.5% in the second half, 27.3% from 3 for the game, 1 of 14 from 3 in the second half. Maryland shot 46% from the field for the entire game. Tied rebound-wise, 41-41. That's about it. Logan, any single positive to take from this game? Because I have nothing.
No.
The argument is Marcus Domask scored 26 points, but he also had 5 turnovers and 5 very big moments that were very detrimental to momentum and to the team. So even Marcus scoring 26 doesn't mean shit because no one played good.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of positive things to take from that outing. I mean, I think the first 10 minutes were really good and kind of thought they would maybe run away with it, and then they just kind of let Maryland hang around. And something happened in the second half. I mean, a lot of the credit goes to Maryland for just figuring them out defensively, just playing better defense. But Illinois also just missed a shit ton of open shots. So you can't. I mean, yes, Maryland deserves credit. They won this game, like big upset, big road win for them. They need it. This is a team that came into the season with high aspirations and have been pretty bad. So credit to them. But Illinois just missed a lot of shots. No, not a lot of positive to take from this, but a lot of top 10 teams have lost games the last week or two.
Those were on the road. That's the thing. Those were on the road.
I mean, I get it.
At home.
I know you can't lose games at home. I trust me. I totally understand. But we were waiting for this team to maybe come down to earth a little bit, and maybe this was it. Maybe this was a fluke. I don't know. But yeah, there's just not a lot of positivity you can have from this. So go Cowboys.
Yeah, so that's going to do it for us today. We'll see you on Thursday. I don't have a whole lot to say. I don't. So if the chat wants to run this show, give us something in there, and we'll try and talk about it. I don't know what to say. I've punched 2 doors in the last 5 minutes. So I'm not in. I mean, I want to get this done, obviously, by 4:30, so another one of my teams can disappoint the shit out of me on a Sunday. But we will talk for a little bit if you want to.
I'm happy to be here. First off, it's great to see you. Happy Sunday.
We didn't even do like a pre-show. Like normally we talk for a couple minutes pre. Like the only reason me and Logan popped on before we went live was to make sure our mics and headphones and stuff were working. If we didn't need to do that, I would have just went live and just started because I honestly don't have anything to say. This was the worst game we've seen all season. And one of the biggest moments, because what you said earlier, like 7 of the top 10 teams lost. So if Illinois wins this, they're probably a top 5 team come tomorrow. And now they're probably going to be right about the 15, maybe not even top 15.
It's not good, however you dice it. Right now it's a quad 3 loss. So that's never good. You don't really you never really want those. At one point fairly early in the second half, I vocalized Marcus Domask is going to need to score 30 points for Illinois to win this game. He got to 26 and Illinois lost by 9. So, I mean, it was, I liked some of the stuff. Luke Goode, 3 straight threes to start the game early on, 9 points early. It was nice to see that from him because, he'd been kind of quiet for a while. Coleman was non-existent. He had more fouls than he had just about anything else. We talked last week about, Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year, and that didn't really show up
That's
tonight
out
either.
the window.
Okay, hold on. hold on. Let's back it up.
Let's
back it up. This is one game, so I haven't even been reading the chat. I don't know what people are saying. This is one game. It was a bad game, but this is one game against a very hungry Maryland team that needed wins. I'm not saying Illinois should have lost a home game. I'm not suggesting that at all. But let's stop the world is ending, the sky is falling season. I know that's not where we're going, but like one game
I was just
does not
stopping
make
the Coleman Defensive Player of the Year.
one game does not make a Defensive Player of the Year.
He was minus
He
one.
still had two blocks.
He was
And a
minus
steal.
2 points in net points produced, and he gave up 10.6 points. So he wasn't the worst defensive player on Illinois by any means, but he couldn't stop Julian Reese, that's for sure.
Maryland
Blake
played better
in here. I know I'm going to be in the minority here, but Underwood gets outcoached in game frequently. I don't think you're in the minority there. Maybe minority, but I think it's pretty split. Willard had a plan to take advantage of our switches and absolutely no adjustments made by Illinois. I actually think this is one of the few times this year where Brad did not make adjustments. The other one was Purdue. I don't think he made the adjustments, but he was too late. But he did make the adjustments. But for the most part, I thought Brad had been pretty good this season. That's why going into half, a 2-point game, I thought Illinois would still win this game by double digits because I thought they would come out in the second half with adjustments and hit some shots, and it just didn't happen.
They also just didn't hit shots. I mean, how many missed shots did they have that were just wide open? 3-pointers, other like layups. Like there was just a lot of that. Again, a lot of credit goes to Maryland and for figuring it out and all that stuff. But like Illinois just missed shots. This was a game that honestly, maybe it's just a quick turnaround. I mean, the Thursday to Sunday is a fairly quick turnaround. And I wasn't exactly like amped up for this game. I mean, a part of it's the early Sunday. Like, I don't know, just sleepy Sunday game. I wasn't really amped up for this game. And clearly,
no, I was not either.
The team wasn't either. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, Brad has a tendency sometimes to do that. And I don't think today was his best outing. I'm not going to, I don't think he deserves all the credit, but yeah, I don't think Blake's wrong.
I'm trying to look at like shooting percentage broken down. Illinois had 2 points off of dunks and 16 points off of layups. They shot. No, that's not it.
Got beaten in the paint 52-26.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's
they don't have the shooting numbers by like Illinois was 6 of 18 on layups. They don't have that, I don't think. So
got beat 52-26 in the paint. At one point, Illinois had shot a ton more free throws than Maryland. That ended up being a little bit closer, but Illinois was still 19 for 24 from the free throw line. So they didn't lose the game there. They just missed shots. You talked about it. The field goal percentage in the second half was just abysmal. It was one of the worst performances I've ever seen. So
yeah. On the mark back in here, we were bullied, like physically bullied and folded. I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
We're a talented team, but not a tough team. Less talented teams will try to rough us up. Need an enforcer to battle Geronimo, like he has DeMonte Williams in parentheses. Yeah, I thought that, and I figured that would be my stance on here after the game was Maryland was more physical. I thought to myself, bully was the word. The Illinois got bullied. 1 p.m. tip-off, the first one of those Illinois has had in a long time, I feel like. Maybe all season. Was there another afternoon game?
I don't remember.
I don't remember there being another afternoon game. And then there's another one next Sunday. So, yeah, I mean, he's spot on. The Illinois got bullied. They were the less physical team, and it showed. Yeah. Rutgers was 3:30. Oh, Tennessee was
an early
Central.
Game.
Tennessee was 11 a.m. Colgate was 12 p.m. So there was a run there, but it was the first one in a long time.
Yeah.
So
I'm not putting a lot of stock into this game moving forward. There are obviously things about it that you don't want to continue, and you don't want to. Other teams will try to utilize, take advantage of things. I somewhat agree with the toughness thing, but I just think this was just a bad game. I really do. Like I'm really not sky is falling at this point, but I can understand people want to be like that. But
yeah, this is being brought up in our group chat at the moment. I mean, he's not Dre Gibbs, no DGL minutes at all. What the hell? That's from Jeffrey G. Uh, he's not good enough to even get on the floor. Like, you're playing 7 guys. He's got to be good enough for that. At least a couple minutes. He hasn't played in a long time. When was the last time? Did he play last game? He might have played last game.
He played a little bit against Purdue.
I knew he played against Purdue,
but I don't think he played much at all. He didn't. I don't think he played against Michigan State. We played 6 deep.
He did not. Yeah, he did not play against Michigan State.
The minutes thing is gonna down the stretch. That's going to hurt you. I can't see it not. But clearly there's not enough trust there with the other guys. So yep. Right on cue, Tim.
I'm going to.
I don't know.
Okay,
there's
Dre
concerns.
played.
I get
did
it.
not play today. Did not play Michigan State. Played 9 minutes against Purdue. 6 against Northwestern. 14 against FDU, but that was a blowout. So he probably played 8 of those, the final 8 minutes or whatever. 3 Missouri, 3 Colgate, 1 Tennessee, 2 FAU. Like, you're going 6 deep. You got to throw someone else out there. I don't get it. Kai.
I don't think.
Never. Oh, you got more on that?
Well, I think Brad has shown he really only trusts so far down the depth chart. And it's one thing to maybe for, Dre to get some first half minutes, but when things are falling apart in the second half, I'm not sure throwing Dre out there is going to do much to help you. He doesn't provide much defensively. He might be able to provide a spark offensively. I mean, that's the difference in the Sincere Harris thing. I think Sincere Harris could have played in that situation and spark some things defensively, but at that point, you needed offense, but literally nobody was scoring the basketball. So maybe Drake could have helped, I guess, because nobody else was doing it. But I think that's where it comes down to. I think he trusts him at certain moments, but I don't know. I just don't think that when you're down by however many points and nobody else is scoring, I'm not sure that was the moment that he was going to dig to his freshman to try to spark something.
Yep. Here's Kai's comment. Never liked talking about the refs, but it was impressive how hard they tried not to call anything on Reese. There were a couple moments, obviously, the Reese jumping over Dane.
Yeah,
it took them a second to call. They missed some calls, but they didn't impact the outcome of the game.
The two fouls on Coleman at the end were, I think they were both fouls, but you could have gone either way, I think, with both of them, and that definitely hurt. But the game was over at that point. It really didn't matter. Illinois just did not show up in the second half.
Jeffrey G again. Once you lose at home, you need to follow that with a road win. This time in Michigan. Yeah, luckily Illinois already had one road win. I know Sean Harrington does his plus-minus Big Ten standings, so Illinois was +1. Now they're back to 0. And I mean, I think Michigan is much like Maryland. They're probably a better team than their record shows. So it's not going to be easy on Thursday, but it's another winnable game. Jay, Maryland still owns Illinois. Pathetic performance, to say the least. Yeah, like I said at the top, Illinois is 3-10 against Maryland since they joined the Big Ten. It's the one school that Illinois just cannot seem to figure out.
Yeah.
This was Brandon Lampy. Here are the differences. Maryland scores 90% of their points in the paint. Illinois cannot make shots. Illinois came in, and then Hummel said it on the broadcast. Illinois came in second in the country in defending 2-point shots. And Maryland just got whatever they wanted.
Yeah.
in the lane.
It was just
I don't know what changed.
I don't either.
How Illinois just played Zach Edey a week ago, and he had 14 and 10 or something. Like he barely got a double, and
I
he's
think
he's the most dominant big in the league, and he only scored 14. What happened today? Like what were they doing different that Illinois couldn't guard a soul?
I just think it's mental. I just don't think they were up for that game. I don't think they were quite ready for that game. I don't think they had. It's a quick turnaround, 2-day turnaround. I don't know. There could be 1,000 different reasons. I don't think it was necessarily just they changed anything. I just don't think they were totally ready for that game. And Maryland needed that game far more than Illinois did. And they showed it. They absolutely showed it. Illinois now can turn around and has what is a fairly not difficult stretch, but that doesn't mean they won't lose games.
We said that Thursday, and that included this game.
Yeah, no, I know. But again, that was that quick turnaround. But you're going to have it again next week too. You're going to have a Thursday, Sunday, so and then a Wednesday, Saturday. So it's not like this is any different. But you got to figure some things out for sure. It's frustrating. I understand the frustrations. I'm not ready to declare this is the end. I don't know why people are.
No, I don't. It's not the end. I mean, still a fringe tournament team, but this is a game you should never lose this game. There was no reason for Illinois to lose this game.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Jay in here, dead crowd didn't help matters except when they want McNuggets. I believe this was the last no crush game, no student game. So I could imagine the crowd being a little more dead. But there were one of my buddies was there, and he said the same thing. He said it's dead in here, even when Illinois was playing well. It was just non-existent in there. A couple people talking about Moretti in here. Blake,
yeah, he was cleared to play, but obviously did not get there. But yeah, if he's not going to go to Dre, he's probably not going to go to Nico either. The point guard thing obviously helps, but I don't think the point guard thing was that big of an issue today. I think mostly this was just a matter of them not making shots, but they also at times just looked totally lost on the offensive side of the ball. So maybe that is maybe having him in there could have helped some things. I guess we'll never know.
I don't know what On Mark's talking about here.
I saw Piper tweeted that there was a little bit of jawing going on in the handshake line. I don't know what it was about. I have no clue. But I did see a tweet in reference to that, but I don't know anything about it.
Must run in the blood because Reese's sister has a mouth on her too. So makes a whole lot of sense. Those LSU women's team.
Yeah.
Let's see. Michael always reporting on the coach post game. Coach said we didn't follow scouting report on defense. Sure. Okay. I mean, obviously, they scored. What did you say? 52 points in the paint.
Yeah.
Let me see here. What did they
52.
come in?
I mean, we can also just look at the numbers.
Maryland came into the game on Ken Palm 346th in 3-point field goal percentage. And you let them score 52 in the paint. So I'm assuming the scouting report was in the post and let them shoot threes. And they just didn't do it. I thought the same thing, and I thought it right before Hummel said it. It was coming out maybe like the 8 or maybe it was coming out of the 8-minute timeout, 8-minute media timeout. It's like, why are they not doubling the post? Because they're not a good. I knew they were not a good three-point shooting team, and they let Coleman go one-on-one nearly every time. And as soon as I thought it, Hummel said it, and they do it. I don't know what the philosophy was there, or if Michael said, if they just weren't doing it, but coach wanted them to. It seemed like a typical, if he catches, bring a double, let him pass out, and they'll miss the threes. So maybe that's what he's talking about.
I don't know. I really don't. I don't know what other productive things I can provide.
Yeah, I know. I think we're about to. I'm just checking the chat. Also, we got to find Coleman and pick and pop.
I mean, Maryland had 2 guys put up 20-plus points. That's what did it. The bench scoring, Illinois still outscored them in bench points, 8-5, for what it's worth. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, whatever. I'm not too terribly concerned. These games happen. You shouldn't lose them at home, but you do, and now you move on. I think that's kind of where we're at. There's plenty of season left, plenty of opportunities to win, and you have several of them coming up here in the next 3 or 4 games that I think are all very winnable. So I'll trade this loss for those 3 wins, and that's fine.
Dropped to 13 in Ken Palm. Before the game, projected to go 15-5 in the Big Ten. Now projected to go 13-7 in the Big Ten. But those are just projections, and Ken Palm is regularly wrong. He had this as a 12-point Illinois win. So what does he know? All right, I'm going to go watch some football. So the Cowboys disappoint me, just like Illinois disappoints me. And we will see you all on Thursday. It is a 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern tip at Michigan on FS1. Anything else, Logan?
Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys. See ya.
No, that's it.